Good afternoon. Today on Public Eye News, Michigan excels in vaccinations but also in COVID cases, and an update on that dangerous potential flood in Florida. Later, Megan Tarcia will have your weather and Max Stevens will have your sports. Hi, I'm Joseph Sigourney, and this is Public Eye News. In an email sent by Northern Michigan University President Fritz Erickson, he is pleading with students and staff not to hesitate and vaccinate. Today is the first day that individuals 16 and older are eligible to get vaccinated, and there are ample opportunities for NMU students, faculty, and staff around the area. The email stated the Marquette County Health Department is moving down their list quickly and are beginning to reach the level of vaccinating individuals who are in their late teens and 20s, including NMU college students. MCHD officials have also confirmed NMU students who get a first vaccine shot here in Marquette can receive your second shot in your hometown if that is necessary due to the type of vaccine they receive. The MCHD advice, however, is to get at least the first shot done with whatever vaccine is available as soon as possible. That will be the best way to be able to interact in person with family and friends. The Michigan Supreme Court has turned aside the latest challenge to construct the Gordie Howe International Bridge between Detroit and Canada, with only one justice interested in hearing the case. The court said Friday it won't take an appeal of June 2020 decision by the Michigan Appeals Court, which ruled in favor of the state. Companies of the rival Ambassador Bridge sued over the condemnation of the land to make room for a new bridge. They said state lawmakers have barred the Transportation Department from spending tax dollars on the project, but the appeals court said no Michigan funds are ultimately expended because Canada reimburses the state. The bridge, named for a native of Canada who played hockey for the Detroit Red Wings, is expected to open over the Detroit River in 2024. The number of new coronavirus cases in Michigan topped 8,400 Saturday, the highest daily total since early December. The health department also reported 57 deaths from COVID-19, including 51 that had occurred earlier and were identified through a records check. The number of new cases this week, more than 34,000, was 24% higher than the previous week. At the same time, vaccines are being offered statewide today, with the minimum age dropping to 16. And with more of Michigan's rising COVID cases is WSBT's Erica Franke in Barron County, Michigan.
Michigan is being dubbed as the new coronavirus hotspot. Both the Berrien County and Van Buren Cass District health departments say they're seeing the biggest rise in middle and high school aged children. Jillian Conrad with the Berrien County Health Department doesn't believe the transmission is happening in school.
Rather, it could be due to out of school activities, including hanging out with friends, teenagers being teenagers, as well as some sports or after-school activities.
There's been almost 20 cases of the UK variant in Berrien County. Health Officer Nikki Britton says the variants are more infectious, which could be causing a spike in cases. However, she says there would likely be more cases and hospitalizations without the vaccine.
It's hard to make some comparisons as to where we've been because the vaccine definitely changes the landscape. It changes the susceptibility of our population.
The president of Spectrum Health Lakeland says they went from no patients 2 weeks ago to about 30 COVID patients a day, and the age of the patients is getting lower.
We've admitted children. We have folks less than 30 on ventilators in the ICU. We have more in their 40s and 50s than we have before.
Dr. Hamill says the more people that get the virus, the more people are likely to die. That's why he says it's safer to take a chance on the vaccine than risk getting the virus.
We would be in so much worse shape right now if we had not been so diligent in immunizing some of the oldest folks in our population. We just would be inundated right now.
After this break, we'll be back with your national news. Stay tuned.
He has a swashbuckling quality, so changed the language.
He's hungry, he's excited, he loved being in love.
They're absolute miracles of prose.
The Merritts didn't have a chance.
He's an odd bird.
How can you not be obsessed about death?
He was being treated for mental illness.
The man is much more interesting than the myth.
Hemingway. Tonight at 8 on WNMU-TV.
Welcome back. Lawmakers in Utah say biological fathers in Utah will be legally required to pay half of women's out-of-pocket pregnancy costs under a new unique to the state law. The bill's sponsor has presented the measure as an effort to decrease the burden of pregnancy on women and increase responsibility for men who have children. Republican Governor Spencer Cogg recently signed the proposal, which received widespread support in the GOP-controlled legislature. Utah appears to be the first state to mandate parental child support, but a few states, including Wisconsin and New York, have provisions that result in fathers being financially responsible for pre-birth expenses. The U.S. government has given Johnson & Johnson control of a factory where a mistake ruined millions of doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. Emergent Biosolutions, a contractor working with Johnson & Johnson, had previously been running the Baltimore factory to produce two vaccines, Johnson & Johnson's and the AstraZeneca's. But the contractors somehow mixed up the two ingredients for the two shots, ruining 15 million doses. In response, President Joe Biden stripped Emergent Biosolutions of its control of the factory and put Johnson & Johnson fully in charge. And from now on, the plant will only produce one vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson's. The administration has asked Johnson & Johnson to produce 100 million vaccine doses by the end of May, and the company says it still aims to meet that goal. Hundreds in Florida residents remain under an evacuation order today as efforts continue to prevent a toxic flood among the Gulf Coast. Naomi Ruckham reports from New York.
Workers are scrambling to head off a potential disaster at a wastewater holding pond near Tampa Bay.
A leak in the containment wall has been ongoing at the Piney Point facility over the past week.
The 77-acre pond contains millions of gallons of toxic water from a phosphate plant that once occupied the site. The fear is that the leak might develop into a breach that would flood the surrounding area.
The greatest concern at the moment for human health and safety is the risk of an uncontrolled discharge.
Engineers were unable to plug the leak, and the decision was made to evacuate nearby homes and businesses.
I am happy to report that no news is good news. We have thankfully avoided uncontrolled breach that would have endangered people and property in the evacuation zone.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency in 3 counties near the pond.
What we're looking at now is trying to prevent and respond to, if need be, a real catastrophic flood situation.
Water is now being pumped out of the pond at a rate of about 22,000 gallons a minute. Officials said it would take until Tuesday to remove enough water to prevent a breach. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Washington, D.C. is on edge this morning after a recent attack at the U.S. Capitol. Capitol police officer was killed and another injured on Friday after a man rammed his car into them at a security barricade. The attack raises new questions about balancing security at Capitol Hill with the need to keep the area open to visitors. Jeff Puegas is outside the Capitol.
It is very surreal.
Jason LaForest is a childhood friend of Capitol Police Officer William Evans, known as Billy, who was killed Friday when a blue sedan plowed into him and another officer near the Capitol. Evans, a 41-year-old father of 2, had worked as a Capitol Police officer for 18 years.
He loved to meet the people that came to the U.S. Capitol and to serve the lawmakers, many of whom he knew quite well.
The other officer injured in the attack, Ken Shaver, was released from the hospital Saturday. Police shot and killed the attacker, 25-year-old Noah Green, after he emerged from the vehicle with a knife. Retired Lieutenant General Russell Honore, who was leading a security review of the Capitol following the January 6th insurrection, said the building has become a greater target.
Whether it's personally motivated or dominated by some ideology, at the end of the day, 24/7, 365, the Capitol Police have to be ready to protect their Capitol.
But lawmakers are grappling with how to deal with Capitol security while keeping the building accessible to the public. Security measures put in place after January 6 have been scaled back. The number of National Guard troops has been reduced and the outermost layer of fencing removed. Senator Roy Blunt says the rest of the fencing should come down.
I think it'd be a mistake for fencing to be a permanent part of the Capitol. The idea that what happens next at the Capitol will be what happened last is almost certain not to be the case.
Jeff Puegas, CBS News.
After this break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
If someone says, you're going to go now, or you got 4 months, I would take the 4 months. That would be like a whole life.
This was my mom's 21st birthday.
This is when she first came to this country. That's me. So I just keep moving.
I've always wanted to do it. So tomorrow I get chemo, and today I'm going to bike ride.
I think you have to appreciate life before you can appreciate death.
You're not afraid.
We're all afraid of dying.
Tuesday at 3 p.m. on WNMU-TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Megan Tarcia here with your weather. Behind me is a beautiful NMU campus as we look into today's conditions. It is sunny outside with a temperature of 71 degrees. Our winds are south-southeast at 14 miles per hour, and our barometric pressure is 29.83 inches and falling. Tonight's conditions, there's a chance of thunderstorms with a low of 47 degrees, and our winds are south at 14 miles per hour. Tomorrow's conditions will be rain showers all throughout the day, high of 53 degrees, and our winds will be north-northwest at 13 miles per hour. We'll start looking across the UP. It is partly cloudy throughout, starting over into St. Marie at 52, Manistee at 59, Escanaba 57, down in Menominee 58, Iron Mountain 74, Ironwood 78, up in Houghton it is 64, and here in beautiful Marquette it is sunny and 71. Looking ahead at our weekly conditions, starting with Wednesday, it'll be a high of 51 and a low of 46, rain showers throughout the day. Thursday will be a high of 59 and a low of 45 with continuous rainfall throughout the day. And Friday will be a high of 52 and a low of 43 with rain showers in the morning. Now going over to Max Stevens with our sports.
Thank you, Megan. Last night, the Detroit Red Wings halted a 3-game losing skid by torching the reigning Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning for a 5-1 victory. It was the first Wings victory on the road against Tampa since February of 2011. Dylan Larkin got the Red Wings on the board with a power play goal in the first period before the Wings blew the game open in the second. As Valtteri Filppula, Michael Rasmussen, and Mark Stahl all scored within 3 minutes of each other. Darren Helm put the icing on the cake with the 5th goal coming in the 3rd period. Thomas Greiss had an excellent night, stopping 27 of 28 shots in the victory. The Wings next take to the ice tomorrow as they begin a 2-game home series with the Nashville Predators. Yesterday, the NCAA women's basketball tournament came to its conclusion with the Stanford Cardinal narrowly holding off the Arizona Wildcats 54-53 to win the program's first national championship since 1992. It's been a long time coming for the Stanford Cardinal, who since 1992 have made 10 trips to the Final Four but came up short each time, including in 5 consecutive tries from 2008 to 2012, where their roster featured 2 future top overall WNBA draft picks in the Ogwumike sisters. This ultimate triumph comes at the end of a long and taxing season for Stanford, as they were forced to live on the road for almost 10 weeks due to COVID regulations in their home Santa Clara County in California. The team stayed in hotels for 86 straight days and prepared for the tournament for 3 weeks in the San Antonio bubble. This championship is the 3rd in the career of Stanford head coach Tara Vanderveer, who is the winningest all-time coach in D1 women's basketball history. And today begins the 2021 Bullet Chess Championship, with opening round matches already underway. The players compete for the title of Bullet Chess Champion and a prize fund of $25,000, with the champion taking home a $10,000 grand prize. American Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura enters the tournament as the reigning champion and presumptive favorite to win the event again this year. However, right behind him in seeding are American Grandmasters Daniel Naroditsky, one of the top bullet chess players in the world, and Grandmaster Andrew Tang, another of the world's top bullet players, and the last human to ever win a game against the Leela Chess Zero neural net AI engine. The event's championship rounds will be played on Wednesday, April 7th, followed by an all-star event on April 8th, featuring famous chess personalities such as American Grandmaster Maurice Ashley and women's FIDE Masters Alexandra Botez of the United States and Anna Kramling of Sweden. And with that, that's all the time we have for you today on this edition of Public Eye News. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.